Ndinoda kuti nyika isiwe vanhu vangu inguva yedu hatingatadzi kubudirira Mwari ari parutivi pedu rambai muchirwa 'Cause my hitters don't die, the real hitters gon' shine and my people gon' rise 'cause we're born to win, yeah. I ain't saying but I'm saying
Loyalty's my favorite characteristic of God, but finding it in him is hard. It's like trying to find God. You're the only one in your camp with cheese. You pay for everything they eat. Man, that insecurity is deep. Now I ain't said no names. These are just theories if you hear me, baby. Hits home, you must admit it's kinda eerie, baby. Like them chemtrails in the sky. Hate to selling the slaves, kinda like the combines. We say everything in moderation, but don't do it in moderation. The lies of a gluttonous generation. 10-year-old girl.
Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to A Day with Trae. As you can see, my girl is not here this week, and I'll be filling in. Hope my girl's doing good. In the meantime, I'm just so happy to be here with y'all. I hope y'all had a blessed weekend. But to give us some updates, I got my guy here. Oh, what's up, Oh?
Deaunte.
What's up, brother?
Hey, man, that host chair is looking good
it feels comfortable, but this is fit for a queen. So I'm just temporarily sitting here till the queen gets back. So
okay.
well, one queen is sitting here temporarily.
I was about to say, okay, I see. Oh, man. You know, it's Monday here and the sun is still shining a little bit. Weather's still good. Man, it was a real busy weekend. You know, this weekend, the biggest news, though, for sure, for everybody in this city, for the most part, and a lot of people who view Converge, is the West Seattle Bridge reopened. It's reopened there. You know, big shout out to everybody over there at S-Dot, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Over 900 days, but they got it done. We got a link there in the comments for S-Dot's blog for people who have like more detailed questions about it. But man, you know, like I said, over 900 days, Deaunte, and I think as far as the Converge family goes, the happiest person is Brian Callanan.
Yes, I heard.
Yeah, because Brian lives in West Seattle, man. But people, they're over there celebrating West Seattle like the Berlin Wall fell or something. They're like, yes, we're connected again.
It is real. It is real. People have been waiting for so long, and I have homegirl Kayla. Shout out to Kay, who's probably just so excited to be able to see everybody. Get back out here to everybody.
Yeah, no, it's good for it to be connected. I know that 2 months ago I was out there for 3 days, West Seattle, going back and forth, and it was like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I got some tickets doing the low bridge.
Yeah.
now that, like, you know, it's all good. You know, I had to take that low bridge a few times, but you know that's really big. And then in community, we're gonna spotlight it tomorrow. But man, it was real active. You know, late last week on Friday was the grand opening of the William Gross Center for Innovation right there on 23rd and Yesler. That's an Africa Town Community Land Trust project there, and it's basically going to be a technology and innovation. Or it is a technology and innovation hub for our young people as Africa Town tries to make basically a technology corridor right there along 23rd Avenue.
And see, that's amazing. I think that one of the things about Africa Town, forever evolving, but forever knowing that community, what did I say? Pay the fee. Pay the fee. Pay the fee.
Pay the fee.
Shout out to Rail Be Free.
Yeah, there it is for sure. So we got a lot of photos and all that, and we'll talk about that tomorrow, as well as Art Noir. Oh, yeah, you know, Auntie and them.
Yeah,
Auntie and them did their thing. You know what I'm saying? A black art space right there.
Yes.
Again on Union, we talk about the Renaissance on Union and the reunion on Union of black business and black culture, black art right there. Have you gone by yet?
I have not gone by. Corinda, I'm sorry. She texted me this weekend ago, but shout out to Vivian Phillips.
Yeah,
countlessly, so relentless in this community and has always wanted to continue to push arts in this community.
Come on, man. Auntie Viv.
Yeah, right.
That's why I said Auntie up there doing her thing. And then Wanawari, you know what I'm saying? They showed up big for the block. You know what I'm saying? No gentrifiers allowed. Walk the block.
That song was amazing.
Yes, same neighborhood right there, the Central District. This was a big weekend for the Central District. And a lot of times when we're covering stuff, it's a celebration or a one-time event. And those are important too. It might be a one-time pop-up or, once a year we do the Black Community Festival. But when we're talking about these things this weekend, these are things that are going to sustain in our neighborhood and our community for years to come.
Right. I'm so mad that I missed it, but at the same time,
best thing is, so that's the best thing. That's the
right.
whole point, though.
It's gonna be there.
It's not a
right.
one-time thing. Like, oh, I missed the Black Community Fest or the Moja Fest this year. I'll have to catch it next year. It's okay if you ain't make none of the grand openings, because guess what? Art Noir ain't going nowhere. Wanawari ain't going nowhere, and William Gross Center ain't going nowhere. And so I'm sure all three will be more than happy to see you. And we'll see if we can send a camera with you.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm ready to go. So.
All right. Speaking of ready to go, man, last week was really big for us with the release of Finding Go. And Finding Go is out there right now. That's the film we've been talking to you guys about. Curtis will put the link there in the comments. Encourage you to please, take 32 minutes out your life and to watch this great story and to support our efforts here at Converge. Make sure you like, share
and subscribe.
Comment, subscribe. We need all of that, man.
I watched that. Now you say you need 32 minutes out of your time, but I had to take 40 because the last 8 minutes for me was just reflecting on how hard everyone on this Emmy Award winning team works. Right, y'all put in some work. What was that like? I got to turn this into an interview. What was that like to bring it on back home?
It's dope because see, the last time I talked about that with Trae Holiday, man, and Mr. Director Curtis will tell you that it was an emotional discussion. I had tears in my eyes when we talked about really this process that we went into with Finding Go, how understanding Adé Hogue's story changed all of us. Me, Takia, Brady, Ike, Omi, Francisco. Everybody who was involved in this film. And, it was a real powerful experience on Thursday. The ABIA, which is the basically the Black employees out there at Alaska Airlines, the air group, Black employees, advocates and allies.
Yeah.
They invited us out there to their headquarters for a screening of Finding Go. And a little context of that is, Finding Go is the story of Adé Hogue. And Adé Hogue was one of the greatest hand letterers. He was a graphic designer of his generation. And he did the letter design on Our Commitment, the Our Commitment aircraft out there that Alaska Airlines has. Plane painted black with black faces in partnership with the United Negro College Fund. And ABIA also played a big role in making that plane a reality. And so they invited us out there to screen the film. And, we'll get to the pictures here in a minute, but you were there.
I was there, and it was empowering just to watch, let alone meet a lot of the pilots and see how diverse and inclusive Alaska Airlines is. I'm gonna look in the camera. Not very many airlines are inclusive, but I just appreciate it just being there amongst everyone. And shout out to Jules, because that was my first time actually meeting her in person.
You got to bump into everybody. So what I got right here to share with everybody is there's about 3.5 minutes. Okay. Alaska Airlines actually featured twice in the film, or the airline, the people in the film. But this part right here talks about Adé's work on Our Commitment aircraft.
Let's look at that.
Before I even knew what the project was with Alaska Airlines, I was just like, yo, dude, you're designing a plane. I don't know if there's a hierarchy of artists' accomplishments, but I feel like designing a plane is up there.
I have to start by saying I've been here 17 years, and these 17 years we've had a lot of great moments at Alaska Airlines, but I think I'm going to put this near the top.
I remember when it happened, I was like, I didn't even know you could design the size of an airplane. I didn't know there was a thing you could achieve in life. And clearly he impacted a lot of people to get there and even afterwards.
Well, we unleashed the creativity of our people, our employees, and our wonderful marketing team that's here. And we said, go create something that will always be a symbol of our commitment and what we're all about at Alaska and our values that will be with us for at least 10 years. And this is what they came up with.
This is not just something that we're doing as a response to what's happening in the world, but this is truly who we are at Alaska. He took inspiration from civil rights protest posters from the late 1960s to inform how he created the shapes of these letters. The way that letters look when they're all put together into a design impacts how you feel about that design.
Him being able to translate what our employees were feeling and asking our organization for, and what our leaders felt like we wanted to communicate to our employees and to the people who fly, beautifully seamless with the silhouettes on the side, really speaks to his dedication and his talent.
It was so exciting just to see the people smile, the awe factor that they had with it. It's committed to let everybody be somebody.
UNCF and Alaska have had a partnership for so long as well, for 15 years. It's a very important relationship, and I think this really showcases it.
We are serious about this commitment, and this aircraft is a representation. This, what I call, is a flying billboard of hope.
This is a gift that he gave away to thousands of people every day who get to experience this plane as it flies across the country.
Every time that plane goes across the sky, my son continues to live. He lives.
Seeing a plane that is, one, painted black, but also has black faces painted on it, is something that's crazy. It's striking. It looks totally different than every other plane you see on the tarmac. So I'm not even sure what it means yet. And I don't think I'm going to fully grasp it or understand it until I see it in the sky.
It's magnificent. It's historic. It's going to be long-standing.
We want to do better. We want to move forward in the future, making sure that we are giving the same opportunities to people who look like us. There's one foot in and there's one foot out, but they don't want to put both feet in. They say, we want to do this, we don't know how, or we want to do this, but this is not a but. This is, we want to do this, and we did it, and now we're moving forward.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you know, that plane still now, you know what I'm saying? It's such a statement. It's a statement. I talked about last time I was here with Triana, with me and Brady. We were filming down in North Carolina, and we got there to the airport in Raleigh, and our commitment was there. I'm telling you, we were little kids. We was like, oh man, it's our commitment. And so the ABIA and Alaska Airlines, like I said, were gracious enough to invite us out there to the headquarters. So we did the screening there. A real powerful moment, you know, and as you just never know how your work is going to be received by people. But yeah, even watching the pilots, the staff at Alaska, not a dry eye in the house. Oh yeah, no, it was an emotional moment. We have some photos up here. Curtis, we put them up. This right here. So there you are. This right here. This was in what they call the hub out there, and you know, everybody just kind of getting together and watching the film and then having a discussion. There's DeMarco there. He's one of the founders of ABIA. Young people in the room. Abraham right there. He's also on the plane. You see that there goes the crew. Yeah. You know, up in there. There you are, Deaunte. Sitting there next to Brady. It was just a real powerful experience altogether. You know what I'm saying? And you mentioned on one of the pilots that spoke. That's Sarah Kaimick. Sarah's also in the film when she talked about the flying billboard of hope and some everything else. And then some discussion. It's the last picture here. And we're able to, you know, acknowledge everybody who took part. Of course, there's Besa Gordon. And then the queens of ABIA met the queens of Converge.
That was amazing. That was an amazing picture. We actually already had that posted, right?
Yeah, no. So that was up there on our IG. It was a good moment for us as well because, you know, although we've been doing stuff with Alaska Airlines, the actual number of people that we've interacted with the airline has been relatively small. And, you know, the Queens, when we went to Belize last year, that whole trip was centered around the Queens of Converge, their trip from Seattle to Belize City on the inaugural flight and everything else. So the Queens really enjoyed being out there as well.
Yeah. So do we have any more showings of Find and Go, or where can people look at it?
So, I mean, we want to encourage people to visit the YouTube link, and you can visit there. And also you'll find a link in there to the Adé Hogue Memorial Scholarship Fund. We put this film together. This was our gift, along with Alaska Airlines, to the Hogue family to support the Adé Hogue Scholarship Fund and Adé Hogue Foundation. And also acknowledge, Alaska Airlines kicked off the scholarship fund with a $10,000 donation when they launched the fund, and they just crossed the threshold. They needed to raise $25,000 for it to be an endowed scholarship, and so they just passed that threshold a few days ago. But still want to encourage people to give, because it's going to allow them to. Of course, the scholarship fund is there, but it's going to allow the foundation to do more things around arts and young people there in Charlotte.
Oh, that's amazing. And I just want to thank you and shout out to the Hogue family as well. Thank you for coming in to give us the news today.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. And I know you got a guest. Wait, ooh, look, I'm right on time.
You're right on time. See,
I'll come back at the end of the show. We'll talk about upcoming events.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We will be back with A Day with Trae. I almost said we live in color. We'll be back with A Day with Trae in just a minute.
Baseball is a beautiful game, especially when played in community. Earlier this summer, Baseball Beyond Borders took a powerful, eye-opening journey through the heart of the South, which included baseball, civil rights, and reconciliation. Our Young Kings hosted a baseball clinic at Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi, and hit the road to Montgomery, Alabama by way of the historic Edmund Pettus Bridge to visit the Equal Justice Initiative Museum and Memorial, all in an effort to ground our Kings in their history and find serenity in the sport they love to preserve the cultural legacy. Join Baseball Beyond Borders on September 27th for the premiere of our film, Reconciliation Tour, at T-Mobile Park's Ellis Pavilion from 3 to 5 p.m. Hear from those on the front line as well as special guests as we elevate our promise to bring healing through play. For tickets or to donate, visit baseballbeyond.org or check our social media platforms.
Welcome back with The Day with Trae. When we talk about community activism work, this next guest is amazing. I have a privilege of sharing space with them, a part of Vocal Washington, which is Voices of Community Activists and Leaders. And I wanted to talk more in the areas of advocacy, because I think that one of the conversations that we don't have enough conversations about is advocacy for people living with HIV as well as substance use. Vocal has been doing an amazing job for that. And this person has been doing this for years. And it's time to share his story and share how we can do better work with being more active in our community. Welcome, Tony Radovich. Hey, Tony.
Good morning, Deaunte. Hello, Converge. I am well. I think I already shared with you about my reluctance and anxiety associated with being on any sort of social media platform.
Well, we love you, and we're just happy that you're on this platform, right?
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yes. So, Tony, can you tell us a little bit about like what you do in community? I know you are with Vocal, but as in like when we look at HIV in our community right now, right? People are kind of have this. We're still dealing with stigma surrounding it, right? How was it how has it been in the past, and have we gotten any better in that?
Well, the answer to the last question is no. We haven't gotten any better at it. I think there's always work to do in community in regards to our sense of purpose or what we do as individuals, but what we do as collectively, right? In regards to stigma reduction in this case. I've been working within the HIV community for a number of years, decades really, and I think that how I show up in various communities is important in regards to the work that I do, right? Like you highlighted substance use disorder. And I think one of the things that are sort of telling in regards to where we are right now is that substance use and overdose is the 4th leading cause of death for people living with HIV in Washington State, right? So in regards to that, the continuing or the continuance of work, that's my sense of purpose. And just vocal is a representation of those intersections. And that's why I do the work that I do.
And we appreciate you doing this for decades. What got you started in this work, right? What is your why?
Anger, mostly around anger, is around like finding a way to utilize my anger in and for change, not for communities and the impact that HIV has had associated with that. And I think that the best way to do that is by telling our stories, which has a direct impact in regards to stigma reduction.
That's real. That is so real. I think that while we're having this conversation, I couldn't get the clip quick enough, but there was an article that came out where Nordstrom's, right, exposed the young man's the prosecutor's office in a news entity exposed the man's status. I guess there was an assault that happened where items were getting stolen, but throughout that space, he allegedly bit someone, which they revealed his status through the media outlet. And I felt a way about that. How did that make you feel? I mean, I'll put the link in the chat a little later, but I mean, for me, it took me aback. I just didn't think anybody should be exposed to their status. How do you feel?
Well, honestly, my first reaction was outrage. I mean, there's different ways that stigma affects community, right? And I think that my own personal experience with how I internalized finding out that I was HIV positive was my story, right? But then how do I claim that or reclaim that and then start using it as a reason or a sense of purpose in regards to the work that I do and how I show up in communities? I think it's really important. I think that once somebody else tells another person's story, that changes everything. And I think that much of that experience in regards to hearing it was like, oh my God, this is like 1987 all over again, where fear is being utilized in regards to telling a story. And it doesn't encapsulate where we are now in regards to how we treat HIV. And I just thought it was a missed opportunity.
Absolutely.
To doing that. So
right. I thought, and I know I'm interviewing you, but it also comes from opinion. I think it was a missed opportunity in both the prosecutor's office as well as messaging, right, through certain outlets, right?
Yeah.
I think it's
and I think the reality is that it's an election year coming up, and all of the prosecuting attorneys in all the major counties in every county in Washington State are up for re-election. So it isn't surprising that this is being utilized in regards to elevating yet again, othering people or utilizing that to frame a story to make sort of talking points. So
right, which is unfair, but it leads that question to the prosecuting attorneys that are running out here, especially in King County, which I believe is Mangan and Farrow. I believe it's like I can't wait to be able to ask them how would they navigate this situation, because I think that knowing that you're revealing someone's status and the stigmas, and what CDC reported that there are rare cases of people getting bit that have received it, that have gotten HIV through a bite, right? There hasn't been very many cases of that, if any.
Right. Well, I think that in regards to stigma reduction, as communities, we have a lot of work to do, and it needs to be sustained. And I talk a lot about that specific issue because of the role that Department of Health and our local public health, Seattle King County, and various departments like behavioral health and recovery division. I mean, there's stigma associated with substance use. There's stigma associated with our unhoused neighbors. And I think that there's an opportunity in regards to educating people. And I think, again, to my point, that we get to know one another when we share stories about one another and how we live our lives and what's going on in our lives. And I think that, that speaks to the possibilities around those issues. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. And how often, and I know this, but how often does Vocal meet?
Not enough. Okay. but no, we meet once a month. And what I appreciate about Vocal is that it's membership driven, right? So we all get together and we talk about issues that impact our communities. And then we talk about strategies or talk about how we can utilize our voices or our stories to affect change. And I think that's one of the things that has, and is rooted in historical groups affecting change in a multitude of communities, right? Like ACT UP or Black Lives Matter. And I think that it's a necessity in regards to the times that we live in.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I do want to thank you for being a guest here. I appreciate the work that you have done over the decades, as you say, but over the past couple of years, I've just watched you just anchor a lot of things for our community, and I appreciate it. Go ahead.
Yeah. I want to, this would be a missed opportunity if I didn't congratulate all of Converge in regards to your award this year. I cannot tell you how excited I am for all of you and look forward to the coming years and everything that you put together. I think it's such an essential component in regards to communities and connecting communities with one another. So thank you for the work that all of you do.
Oh, thank you. Oh, is over there smiling and waving. He says, thank you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. We'll put more information about Vocal Wah in the chat for you to check, for people to check out. We will be right back with The Day with Trae. Thank you, Tony.
Baseball is a beautiful game, especially when played in community. Earlier this summer, Baseball Beyond Borders took a powerful, eye-opening journey through the heart of the South, which included baseball, civil rights, and reconciliation. Our young Kings hosted a baseball clinic at Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi, and hit the road to Montgomery, Alabama by way of the historic Edmund Pettus Bridge to visit the Equal Justice Initiative Museum and Memorial, all in an effort to ground our Kings in their history and find serenity in the sport they love to preserve the cultural legacy. Join Baseball Beyond Borders on September 27th for the premiere of our film, Reconciliation Tour, at T-Mobile Park's Ellis Pavilion from 3 to 5 p.m. Hear from those on the front line as well as special guests as we elevate our promise to bring healing through play. For tickets or to donate, visit baseballbeyond.org or check our social media platforms.
And we're back with A Day with Trae. I got O back. Did you hear Tony just thanking us on our Emmy? All the decades of work that he's done, but I just appreciated that acknowledgement.
No, I mean that's real. And yeah, I mean the work that the Vocal does and all the people who are in the advocacy space around you know, our brothers and sisters that are living with HIV/AIDS and, you know, might be facing other challenges in life, man. It's important. It's important. Organizations like Vocal and so many others are important because oftentimes we as a people are stingy with our humanity based upon stigmas. We're stingy with it. We like to generally say like, oh, our humanity is there, but our humanity oftentimes in the Emerald City and beyond is a la carte. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we have a certain kind of humanity that we extend to maybe someone who might have cancer or might be struggling with COVID. And then we take that humanity back for someone who might be living with HIV/AIDS, or we take that humanity back when we're dealing with somebody who might be battling substance abuse. And so it's important with these organizations that are out there to remind everybody, all of our brothers and sisters, that we should approach each other with an abundance of humanity, and we shouldn't let stigmas of someone, their current situation, be able to blanket how we're going to proceed. The Weird at Night guys always say, attack with love. We should lead with love.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
I know it's a real deal issue.
It's real. It is so real. You know, just dealing with stigma in our community, and just to know that there's a young man that is sitting in jail whose status is just exposed, who could be getting harassed while he's in jail, due to the fact of the prosecution office throwing something at him like that, or into community like that. Family didn't even know his status. That is heartbreaking.
Well, I can say this. Sorry. No, it's fine. I can also say this, that there's a young man who's sitting here in the Black Media Matters studio who, because has been brave enough and open enough and transparent enough and wanted to be a leader in his community, that's been very out about status and been very out about your life and transparency and everything else. So I just want you to know, man, that, you know, your willingness to be very open about what you're going through, what you're living through, and the challenges that you face, that's impactful, brother.
I appreciate that. Oh, you're gonna make me cry up in here today. We're gonna let's talk about these announcements.
I was about to say, it's usually I'm the one who's crying out here. There go big old crying on screen.
I appreciate you. What we got going on?
All right, so a few things that, you know, people are seeing the spot playing here. Reconciliation Tour. You know, we were busy this summer, and we shot 2 films. Reconciliation Tour, we followed Baseball Beyond Borders, our young kings from Seattle. They went down south to Jackson, Mississippi, the heart of the South. And by the way, in July, we couldn't drink the water there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, even to brush your teeth, they say use bottled water. So the issue with water has been going on there for a while. But the young kings were there in Jackson, Mississippi, and then also Selma, Alabama, and Montgomery, Alabama. We shot a film that comes out September 27th, and it's going to premiere at Ellis Pavilion at T-Mobile Park. And so, you know, we encourage people, you know, come check us out there at the park. It's free, but this is a fundraiser for Baseball Beyond Borders. So we encourage people to make a donation there on the website if you want to attend. But also something interesting here that I wanted to bring up. This is Fifth Avenue Theater, right?
Yeah.
Fifth Avenue Theater has done something real interesting. And we hear the term global majority. Usually it's Trae Holiday. You hear like, you know what I'm saying? Majority, global majority. Fifth Avenue Theater has global majority night.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, for their production. So there we go. Curtis has put that up. You can leave that up there for a second, Curtis. So this is some of the productions where it's global majority night, and the next night is September 27th with the Griswold's Broadway Vacation. Right, it's gonna be real dope. You can see there's one for The Wiz, also for Choir Boy and everything else. You can bring that down. We got the link in the comments. So September 27th is the Griswold's Broadway Vacation. It's global majority night, and I gotta tell you, Deaunte, it's like, I'm always hella skeptical when any business or organization is basically gearing something towards Black people or people of color, because the last thing that we want to be is a proxy for someone who's disingenuous with their intentions.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I can say that it's been about a year now, because we were getting ready to go to Belize when I very first talked to the guys over there at the Fifth Avenue Theater. I talked to Rachel and Chris at the Fifth Avenue Theater, and these guys have definitely been totally intentional. Because, it's sometimes like, oh, we just want to do something for the Blacks, check a box. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we did something for the Blacks. They move on. They feel good in their boardroom, handshake. We did something. Nah, man. These guys, Fifth Avenue Theater is real. Aviana was over here, you know what I'm saying, a few weeks ago.
And shout out to Aviana.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'll be doing a panel for Choir Boy at the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, Choir is exactly. So I think, you get it. And so we want to encourage people, you can click the link there. You can go on Global Majority Night or any night, because what Aviana said is that come as you are to the theater. Don't get caught up in all this other stuff. You come as you are. And so I'm actually going to get on a phone call right after this and talk to them, because we want to do a ticket giveaway. We'll get you some tickets for that. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I just seen the Wiz, and it just took me all the way back. So I'm ready to ease on down that road to the 50th.
Oh, yeah. So no, we got a lot of great stuff lined up then, especially for somebody like you. Over there in the theater, and man, I've never been to the Fifth Avenue Theater, so maybe me and you will go together.
Yeah, let's go. It's a date.
Oh, it's
Thank
a date.
So
okay,
I appreciate that. Oh, y'all heard that?
I'll roll with you. That's no issue. So so that's updates there. People can find a link there to Global Majority Nights in the comments.
Thank you so much. Oh, and thank you so much for being my news update brother this week, all this week.
Yeah, I got you. If I could just tell everybody, so I'm here in studio with you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I'll be joining you one way or another,
right,
for the rest of the week. But man, I'm really happy that you're here. I'm really proud that you're here. And imagine the talent that's always already been there, but also how quickly you've grown and developed here on the set to where, this is our biggest show. Traeana's show this is our biggest show. And you're there in this seat, and it's just natural for you. So I just want to tell you, real proud of you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you and Curtis, because y'all have patience with me. Y'all don't see the behind the scenes, but I appreciate both of y'all. Curtis, you deserve all the love, brother. You put in a lot of work to all these shows, and you already know I ain't crying today. It's just Monday. Can we wait till Feel Good Friday?
We'll wait.
Okay, thank you. Now tomorrow, y'all join us. We'll be talking about housing with our brother Cliff Cawthorn. Today, you've been watching The Day with Trae. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.